In this video, we have a CGC unboxing. It is one book. I've already unboxed this book, but I cracked it, pressed it, resubmitted it. Did it work? Let's see. Up next on this video from Bronzeville Comics. Hey there, panelologists. This is Jim from Bronzeville Comics coming to you with another video. And before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe. We've just hit 4,600 subscribers, and we are looking forward to 5,000. In addition, follow us on other social media, Bronzeville_comics. I am on Instagram with that name and also on Whatnot. I'm on Whatnot Monday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And there is a link in the description of this video. If you've not yet signed on with Whatnot, you can do it through this video. You'll get $10 off your first purchase. Me or anyone else, doesn't matter. Also in the description of this video is a link to my eBay store and to my email. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. So, I had gotten a collection several months ago. It was actually a collection of collections, and I'll post a link to that particular video. And there were about 3 collections that comprised it. And one of the collections was some 90s Batman stuff. And if you're looking for 90s Batman, there's one specific book. Now, I bought it from an antique store that I deal with, and they knew what the book was. It is not something that escapes many comic enthusiasts' collections or... it gets bypassed, and that's Batman Adventures 12, the first appearance in comics of Harley Quinn. It was a beautiful copy. So I cleaned it, pressed it, and I thought it was a real strong 9.8 contender. I got it back, and I got back a 9.6. And it was very strange, and if you want to, at least for you can look at the grader's notes with that code number, and there were grader's notes on it. For 9.6 is very unusual, and it said blue ink printed light on right side of cover. To me, that should not affect the grade. And I looked the book over real closely, and I was confused as to why it got a 9.6 and not a 9.8. So I took a closer look at it, and I submit all my books through my local LCS. So my buddy there looked at it. He thought the top staple was slightly inset. I showed it to Erod. We were at Streetside Anthony's together, and he looked at it. He thought there was a small dot of something on the bottom staple on the back cover. So I worked on those two things, and I resubmitted the book. And kind of a fun fact, CGC recently announced that you no longer had to have a minimum of 25 books in a particular submission for a pre-screen. So I pre-screened this book at a 9.8, figuring if I get the 9.8, great. If not, I'll just take a closer look and potentially resubmit it a couple more times, because the cost difference between a 9.6 and a 9.8 is quite substantial. Lo and behold, they don't do pre-screens for the high value tier of books, which is what this qualified under, because I insured it, put it at a value of $1,000 because it's worth more than $400. I bought it as part of a collection. I think the fair market value on a high grade raw Batman Adventures 12 is about $700. So, any rate, they graded it. My buddy says, "Listen, I just had it graded, and we'll figure out then." So I don't exactly know what the grade is, but I'm hopeful that we got a grade bump from the 9.6. So we're going to open it up. I have not looked at the grades. I have not looked at the book. Going to get rid of the bubble wrap, and we're going to get rid of the elastic, and I'm going to... I'll take the book out of the plastic. There we go. There's the front. I'm not looking. And here we go. So, here it is. Batman Adventures 12. First appearance of Harley Quinn. We're hoping for a 9.8, which is what I thought it was. Do we get the grade bump? Yes! Yes! We get the 9.8! Woo! We got the 9.8 on the resubmission. That is so awesome. Oh my goodness. That is, oh, I thought it was a 9.8, and I don't crack out a lot of books, but I thought that it was worth it on this book. We get the bump from a 9.6 to a 9.8. Oh, I'm so happy and relieved because, yeah, 9.8 white pages. So now I have a dilemma because I've told this to a lot of people. I've only ever submitted one book from my own personal collection that I was the original owner of. Everything else that I've submitted in the last 2+ years have been books that I bought, collections that I bought. The only book I ever submitted from my own personal collection is this one, right? Which is also 9.8 white pages. So now I have the dilemma of which one do I keep? So I have to take a close inspection of these. It looks as though, yeah, I think I'm going to keep my original copy. It does. I'm gonna keep this one. That is, it's still, you know, it's still a great. It has that provenance for me that I bought this, had this on my pull list at my LCS 30 years ago. Right? Is that? Yeah, it's just $9.93. This is just about to celebrate its 30th anniversary, and I think. The other one doesn't look any better to me. It's interesting that the cover sits the same on both of them. I mean, these look, in the way that they're manufactured, almost identical in many ways. You know, I talked about the top staple being inset. The staple alignment of both of them is similar. In that, and I don't know, this will come through that well on video, but you can see that the top staple, and my original copy is the one on top, does look to have maybe a little more color loss. But both of them have slightly inset staples, but the bottom staple is, on both books, is like around the front. And in both cases, the cover doesn't quite. It's interesting to look at, you know, identical 9.8s of the same book. The cover doesn't completely cover the interior pages on the right-hand side of the cover. I mean, there's really no appreciable difference. Maybe the colors are a little richer on my original copy. I'm not going to make a decision based on the back of the book, so I'm going to keep my original copy. So let's take a look at what that value, the fair market value is of this particular book, now that we got it in a 9.8. So according to Go Collect, the fair market value of the Batman Adventures 12 CGC 9.8 white pages is $3,000. The two sales this month, August, were for $2,713 in an eBay auction and $3,130 in a heritage auction. Well, those buyer premiums really are a thing. So and I'm gonna, before I go on about the book, I'm going to talk about the nerve-wracking process of CPR. The cracking out, I had no problem with, but getting it out of the inner well, that is so nerve-wracking when you're talking about a book that's already a 9.6. So a 9.6, you know, is a book that is worth, you know, about $1,000. You know, so you're talking about a book that you could, you know, ruin and make it like worth maybe a couple hundred. I don't know. And so that was a really nerve-wracking process of getting it out of the inner well, and then doing more work on it in terms of pressing it and resubmitting it. So I'm, you know, I've been pressing books for about a year and a half now. So I do feel a little more confident, and, trial and error is the best teacher, but you don't want to make an error on a book like this. You make an error on a book that's like, worth $150 in 9.8, you're like, okay. But anyway, so we're going to do a claim sale. I've done this on the channel before. Since I have 2 of them now, I'm willing to let go of this. If anyone is interested, email me. Email is in the description of this video, bronzevillecomics, all one word, at gmail.com. That's the way that I'm going to take offers. It's $2,600, which is below fair market value of the book. I don't think that you're going to find it necessarily better elsewhere. But Batman Adventures 12, 9.8 white pages for $2,600. PayPal, friends and family. This will include shipping. I'll take care of the shipping on it and the insurance. So if you are interested, just reach out to me, tell me they're interested, and we can get the deal going. So I'm really happy. I have 2 more boxes of CGC books to open up. Those will be future videos. One is I don't know, and the other is a dumpster fire of a pre-screen. So look forward to those in the future. I don't know if I'm going to be happier than what I got out of this. So yeah. So I'm going to post the links of the videos, specifically the video, I think, of this particular book that the first time I got it up here in another video. And this is Jim saying until next time, enjoy your comics.